something I do on the side. My whole house is like a jungle, and that's something I love doing. I work in Bangalore, in urban Bangalore, and I work in the field of public mobilization and advocacy on environmental and other social justice issues. I work on issues around air pollution and climate change, gender and sexuality and women's rights, and at Jhatkaa.org we run campaigns to mobilize people towards these issues. I think for me it stems from my education from the past of working in public health and human rights in that space essentially, but also just having a real passion towards the environment from a very young age, because that was something that was instilled in me as a child by my parents, and that's just how I was brought up. And so that's something it has become a part of my identity, and so that's I think where my commitment comes from. I think for me it was early on in my campaigning experience of just seeing some communities really come together for a particular issue that directly affects them, and just seeing the passion and sort of drive in their eyes when it came to organizing themselves to make their neighborhood a better place. And I think that really motivates me and sort of proves to me that when people come together for a particular cause or to take action, they can affect change that they probably wouldn't be able to do if they did it alone. So I think those experiences really shape the way I think about my work. I think in our field of community organizing and public mobilization, I think it can get sometimes hard when there is a lack of hope among people, when they just sort of succumb to the idea that nothing's going to change. I think that can sort of bring down when people give in to like hopelessness and just assume that nothing's going to happen. I think that's what makes this a little difficult. Yeah, and my work is to figure out what messaging will compel people and drive people to take action, because they also see lack of political will among the people who are supposed to bring change. So when they see that, when they see governments and bureaucrats not taking action, they also sort of just succumb to it and say, you know what, nothing's going to change. So I think that changing that is a challenge. So when I was initially working with an activist group in Chennai, in India, we met with a group of municipal workers who were also manual scavengers who used to go down drains and clean waste. And one of the things we found out was that a lot of these waste workers were cleaning up sanitary waste by their hands, right? Because it was not disposed properly. People used to either flush them and things like that. So, and hearing their stories of dealing with waste from middle class and upper middle class people who actually don't care about what happens to their waste once it leaves their homes, but there are these communities who are actually cleaning up their waste and getting ill and dying because of interacting with other people's blood when it comes to sanitary waste, right? And so hearing their stories, I think, really moved me to even make a personal change of choosing sustainable menstruation products, but also I became an advocate for that ever since, speaking to these communities. And I think since then, actually, waste management in general has become a very personal issue for me. And I am very involved in that campaign at Jhatkaa as well. So that was that one moment that definitely shaped the way I thought of campaigns, but not just looking at the environment, but also looking at that human element of how it's affecting a certain community, and the indifference of others towards these communities. also I feel like anything is possible when a community comes together, because they really feel protective of their community, they feel protective of their neighborhood, and it could range anywhere from a neighborhood to a country, but I think that sense of community is what brings people together to take action, and it can affect real, long-lasting, sustainable change. I would say that bringing people together and communities coming together to organize themselves towards an issue that directly affects them can affect long-term change, and it is definitely possible, and people will listen to you. And I think if there's a way for you to get justice for any injustice, I think there is definitely a way to find success and create change when you come together.